Kevin Reynolds.
Welcome back to the K-Rock Center in Kingston. Skate Canada International, and the focus for now is the free skate for the men. Championship figure skating on CBC, presented by Artistry, Skincare and Cosmetics. And the man on the hot seat right now is quite clearly that man, 19-year-old Patrick Chan of Toronto. After the short program, he stands fourth. The leader is Nobunari Oda of Japan. However, Patrick Chan is still within striking distance, but he has to quite clearly nail the free skate. We've got a great position here at the K-Rock Center in Kingston to get a view of all of the action. Scott Russell, once again, along with Tracy Wilson and with Kurt Browning, the four-time world champion, the Olympic medalist. And so let's set the scene for you. Patrick Chan is fourth, an unfamiliar position after a short program. Tracy, is that cause for concern, or is there reason for optimism?
Well, reason for optimism because of the beauty of his quad. You saw in the interview with Kurt, he talked about how it's his favorite jump, seen it in practice. It's spectacular. What I love about Patrick is when his music starts and he starts skating, he has so much power and so much speed. Hey, who cares if I'm going to try a quad in the short program for the first time in competition? He goes like gangbusters, and that's what we love about him. Makes his quad maybe a little more risky, and as he said, he's going to try it again in the free program.
But he does trail other skaters, strong skaters, including Nobunari Oda of Japan, Kurt.
Very strong skaters, and what Nobu has is really soft knees, which makes him consistent. He doesn't come down from his jumps and hard and chuck the blade off the edge and maybe lose the jump. He's very consistent that way. Makes him really hard to catch when he's got that big of a lead, which makes me worry about Patrick. Is he just going to concentrate on the quad and try and get it in, or is he trying to win this competition? So there's a disjoint there. But Nobu, tough to beat at any time. But now he has a lead.
And Patrick Chan also trails another skater, and that is his teammate, Kevin Reynolds of Vancouver, who appears ready to make the leap. Here's Brenda Irving.
Well, Scott, I spoke with his coach, Joanne McLeod, a little bit earlier today about that free, or rather that short program, and she said what she loved about it was not the fact that he landed the history-making quads, but the fact that maybe for the first time in his career, he was really able to reach out to the audience, connect with them, give them something to cheer for, and really start to like him. And she said that is very important to her. So he will try to do that again today in the free program. And here's what he had to say about it.
It's to a Strauss medalist, so it's a very different style than last year, which was Led Zeppelin. So looking for a little bit more classical approach, but I still have my big jumps as always, the two quads at the beginning, as well as some triple triples combinations. So, you know, trying to combine the artistry with the technical difficulty.
And I asked Joanne how he felt about being just 1 point back of first place, and she said that she's told him not to dwell about that short program performance. And she says he's in a good place in his head, dealing with the fact that he is one of the men everyone's chasing today, Scott.
All right, Brenda, well, we were in the final moments of the warm-up now here at K-Rock, and there's an anticipation building, as you might well expect. Patrick Chan, what do you see?
Adrenaline. That jump was bigger than it's been all week. It was probably an inch to an inch and a half higher. That used to happen to me. It's just wanted too much and throwing too hard. I love the 5-minute warm-up. It means nothing. Really, that's proven itself time and time again, but it's still so exciting.
And that was his triple axel that he was warming up, and he's getting advice there from his coach, Christy Krall. And he finds that, as we talked about, his quad is more comfortable for him than his triple axel.
One person that we
There's always another way, and not every golf swing has to be beautiful.
Please leave the ice. Thank you.
All right, the time is at hand for Patrick Chan and for that man, Nobunari Oda of Japan, who is the leader after the short program. But not much distance separates the top skaters. There are 6 left to go. And who are the last skaters who will touch the ice? Patrick Chan will be off late, so will Adam Rippon of the United States. Standings after the short program, Nobunari Oda of Japan leads 81.37. Patrick Chan down in 4th. He's about 7-8 points behind, and he can make that up depending on what happens in this free skate. 2-time World Junior Champion Adam Rippon is lurking, and now we get to the ice, and our first skater will be Spain's Javier Fernandez.
He trains with Russian coach and choreographer Nikolai Morozov. And for his free program, we'll skate to music from the soundtrack Pirates of the Caribbean.
And this is a program that's fun to see again. It was his long program from last year. It's charming, great acting in this program. As you can imagine, I like that kind of program. Things get a little crazy later on in this program. Tips the bottle a bit too much. You'll see what I mean later, but now it's all business. 4 revolutions in the air.
Oh, it's gorgeous quad toe.
Oh, that was perfect. And that's a success story because of how open he gets his legs and his arms. He reaches so wide, gives himself all that range to pull in for speed and air time. He's on.
Oh, that was beautiful. A triple axel feather soft landing out of a very high jump.
You know, his appearance at the Olympics in Vancouver was a first for a Spanish man since Ivan Gomez made it to Calgary in '88.
Well, I think he's earned it. Able to sit back and relax a little bit here.
Fun. Great presence of mind. Unfortunately, he popped the triple into a single, but was able to save the combination. Great focus and trust. We're now in the second half of his program, so everything's got a 10% bonus. Jumps counting for more than usual. Program kind of dissipated for the last 60 seconds a little bit, but he got a lot of business in, a lot of jumps, a lot of points, and now I have a feeling he's going to get back to that acting thing. He plays his balance way off the blade, left and right, and it really creates some great leaning and illusions.
And all of these little character pieces and throwing and torquing your body takes a tremendous amount of energy. So kudos to him for putting it out there like this and not holding it back and playing safe, especially this early in the season.
There you have it. The swashbuckling Spaniard, 19-year-old Javier Fernandez of Madrid.
Great personality, good costume. You know, the whole thing came together for me, and I also just love the fact that he's enjoying his skating, so can we.
We'll get the marks for Javier Fernandez. You're watching Skate Canada International from Kingston on CBC. Welcome back to K-Rock. Everybody's plugged in. Javier Fernandez with his coach Nikolai Morozov.
And does a quad get any better than this? Look at the height and the distance, and then the wonderful run of his blade on the landing. And Kurt, for me, that's the payoff on the jump.
He took a page out of Joseph Sabobchuk's book, a long, wide entrance, and so
Floats
calm
on the landing.
Float, good word, floats the landing. I like that.
The free program score 144.11.
144-101, the free program score for Javier Fernandez of Spain. Had a lot of ground to make up. He was 6th after the short program. His grand total, 210.85, pushes him into first place for now. The big guns are still to come here in Kingston.
Next skate, representing France, Alban Preaubert.
25-year-old Alban Preaubert, born in Grenoble, France, site of the 1968 Winter Olympic Games.
And Alban usually comes out with something theatrical, comical, loves his audience, but he wants to reinvent himself and for the first time try on some classical, skating to piano.
Triple toe only, planned quad there.
Very clean triple axel double toe, and you're seeing more quads in the men's competition this year because of the rule change. Not as punitive if you make a mistake on a quad, and more points if you land it successfully. So skaters feeling now it's worth the risk.
High watermark for Alban. He was 8th at the World Championships in Calgary in 06.
His arms never stop moving. They're just going all over the place. And does he have extensions on his arms, or that's just how long they are? He's a performer, likes to jump. He's got a triple axel planned here. Not bad at all. What he doesn't do is caress the ice with his blade as he strokes. He kind of chops at it a bit.
Yeah, we alluded to it in the warm-up. He has an unorthodox style of just about everything. Jumping, really gets his upper body involved to help rotate the jump.
Well, if I can cross over to the women's section just for a second, Alyssa Cisney has been changing her style. Her upper body still, her head used to rotate. If you watch Alban in the air, his head goes off the axis. And you can see that perfectly, and that's exactly what Alyssa has been working on changing.
I think the concern for me is this program, when you do choose a classical piece of music, one expects classical lines, elegance, and this isn't quite unorthodox enough in a polished way to really carry it off. Having said that,
he's fun. He brings something else, but it's the way I was questioning his arms. Were they choreographed, or is he just kind of throwing them around? Movement for movement's sake instead of movement with thought behind it.
well, you have to respect that he's trying on a new look, as he always does. Also, the fact that he delivered a lot of very difficult technical elements in that
Ladies and
program,
gentlemen,
getting the job
from
done.
France,
Long known for
Alban
playing the clown,
Preobert.
Alban Preobert goes classical. He is full of surprises. Meantime, Patrick Chan is waiting in the wings. He's next at Skate Canada. Welcome back to CBC's live coverage of Skate Canada International from Kingston. Scott Russell with Tracy Wilson, Kurt Browning, and Brenda Irving. And on the ice, warming up, is Patrick Chan. His coach is Christy Kroll, just over the boards. I've often wondered, what is this time like, as he waits for Preobert, the previous skater, to get his marks, and he's just got time to think and get ready.
Well, at times we can actually hear what they're saying, and that's fun. Let's see if we get a peek at what they're saying. No, microphones didn't quite pick it up, but basically nothing left to say at that point if you've done everything beforehand correct.
139.34 with a total competition score of 209.04.
Meantime, free skate score 139.34 for Alban Preobert of France. 209.05 leaves him behind Javier Fernandez of Spain in second spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing Canada, Patrick Chan.
Over the course of his young career, Patrick Chan has answered so many questions, and then he presents a few more each time out.
In my career, the first time I tried a triple axel in the short program, I forgot the rest of my short program. At least he remembered it. That's what happens when you're trying to take that next step up.
There it is, quad toe.
And another answer delivered. Big lean, exactly leaning backwards, the same problem that he had in the jumps yesterday.
Second triple axel planned here.
Just a little bit tight on that triple sow cow. Not able to get down into the knee.
One of the things to watch for when Patrick skates is the way in which he fills the rink of the ice, and you can hear his blades carve the ice, powering, no scratching, free of tension.
No tension in his skating, but there is tension in the air on his jumps, and you can feel it when he touches the ice. His shoulders are higher than they should be. Good fight and a good idea to add in that second triple toe. Fantastic feet, beautiful energy, transferring his body back and forth from one foot to the other. The music flows along through his body into the ice. It doesn't get left behind. He doesn't ever skate through a note.
There are still some rough edges, but nobody moves like he does. Patrick Chan is
Ladies and
riveting.
gentlemen, from Canada, Patrick Chan.
Best part for me in that program, despite his magnificent skating, the triple at the dying moments of his program, to have the strength of mind and conditioning to throw it like that. What a fighter.
With his coach, Christy Kroll. Meantime, the other Canadian, Kevin Reynolds, is in his own space. He is still to come in Kingston. Adam Rippon of the United States is next at Skate Canada. Welcome back to Kingston. And you know what? Patrick Chan is always worth another look.
Fantastic speed, you can't see in slow motion. He carries it in a very light, quick takeoff, tight in the air, perfectly straight, and that was why it was so successful. So much core strength, and he can stop it on a dime, that rotation.
This was gorgeous. Again, look at the ease and the flow of the landing. Did it look like a quad? He makes the quad look like a double. The height, the speed, and the ease. But you couldn't say that about the whole program. He really had to fight through that program. It did not come easily for him.
It was a grind, and the jumps that usually fall in place so smoothly were a fight.
100.
Marks are ready, and here they are for the free skate. 166.32. The one deduction. Total 239.52. Easily into the lead for now.
And that's a higher score than the world champion received for his free program at NHK last week.
And he skated
Ladies and
well.
gentlemen, our next competitor representing the United States of America, Adam Rippon.
You cannot, you must not count out this young American. Twice the world junior champion, the only man to ever do that. 20-year-old Adam Rippon from Scranton, Pennsylvania. His coach is the Canadian Brian Orser.
Adam skating to Rachmaninoff, and you can feel the buzz in the arena. He's got to be able to calm the audience and himself to be in the right place to deliver.
Right away, I'm seeing some more speed than he usually takes into this, than the way he did it in his short program. That's a good sign. And a good result.
Adam is working on a quad. It is not in his competitive arsenal. Both arms over his head. Gorgeous landing.
He was a strong six at the World Championships in Torino. He only found out 12 days beforehand that he'd be going. He replaced Johnny Weir.
just lovely. Wow. He's weaving a spell you don't want to interrupt. Beautiful layering, subtle layers, beautiful knee. He skates into the ice with so much respect for it. A joy.
Like Chan does not let a moment and piece of music go by, using every note. What a terrific
Ladies and
men's
gentlemen,
event
from the United
we're
States
seeing
of
here at
America,
Skate Canada International.
Adam Rippon.
Grace under fire. There was a buzz because of Chan. Adam Rippon responds with a beautiful skate. Welcome back. Brian Orser and Adam Rippon wait. Patrick Chan has already done his job. Let's go to Brenda Irving.
Scott, Patrick Chan showed a lot of fight in that free program today, but we have to ask you, what did it mean to land your first quad in competition?
That's how it was in practice. That's how I've been practicing it, so it was really good to get it out. Because after the show, I was really lost. I didn't know what I did bad or what I did wrong. So I was glad to get that out of the way. And then the whole program was just a fight. And it was a good fight, though. It was worth it. And that's what all the training was for.
Job well done.
Thanks.
Let's go back to Scott.
Thank you, Brenda. It was a good fight. Adam Rippon had a great skate. 155.51. He did not have the quad. Grand total 233.04. That leaves him behind Patrick Chan, who will win a medal at Skate Canada. The question now, what color?
Represents Canada.
Much of that to be determined by the next skater. Prime time for Kevin Reynolds, the 22-year-old of Coquitlam, BC. We know he can jump, and in the short program, he put everything together.
And he's going to try and do it again. And this time skating to the music of Strauss. And we're hoping that he has the same success with the quads, and he can let his personality come out again in the free program. Quads out. And for his next jumping pass, he's planning quad, triple, triple. Quad toe, triple toe.
That shouldn't have happened. That was not a good takeoff. That just shows how comfortable he is, how confident he is in his ability to spin in the air super fast. But that was quite amazing.
Was to be a triple, popped it to a single.
Kevin did a great job for Canada at the World Championships in Torino. By virtue of his 11th place finish, Canada will send 3 men's skaters to the World Championships upcoming in Tokyo.
Second attempt at a triple axel.
we got to go back to Emmanuel Sandhu before we can find a skater so comfortable doing 4 revolutions in the air and so uncomfortable doing axles. Kevin has a better axle, more consistent, but when he gets on that deep outside edge, it's like a train on a track. You can't get off of it. And if you're off, you can't throw the axle. Nobody can.
Too, Kurt. I see you shaking your head or nodding your head, really using the music. Beautiful skating by Kevin Reynolds.
Well, I'm finding moments in this program where I feel like Kevin is taking the time to enjoy the program and enjoy the music. It's a good vehicle for him. I was worried about this picking of Strauss, but I think he's handling it quite well. It's just another level of improvement on Kevin Reynolds. Oops.
He was throwing in a triple combination again at the end. Not successful, of course, with the second jump.
Yep, he was trying to regain the triple toe that he lost from popping the triple axle earlier in the program. But listen to the audience. They're clapping.
How nice for Kevin.
They're following him.
If he's had a weakness, it's been he has not been able to engage an audience. In this program, he's bringing them right in, and so is the music.
And a nice spin to finish. Not a bad day at the office. Not bad at all.
He may have let a little bit slip away, but Kevin Reynolds has served notice in Kingston that he is to be reckoned with, and soon.
15 points he left on the table by opening up on the triple axles. However, big step forward with a brand new program.
Kevin Reynolds of Coquitlam, British Columbia. Welcome back to Kingston. Backstage, everybody wants to talk to Patrick Chan, but the leader after the short program is this man, Nobunari Oda of Japan, and now he's on the ice warming up. Meantime, Kevin Reynolds, who was second after the short program, has come a long, long way with his coach, Joanne McLeod.
138.56. With a total competition score of
138.56 for Kevin Reynolds in the free skate. You total that up, 2:18.65 puts him in third spot right now. The leader is Patrick Chan of Canada. Still to skate, Nobunari Oda. It's Chan, Adam Rippon of USA, and then Kevin Reynolds. Only Oda can change the order. 23 years old, he was the World Junior Champion in 2005. He's had a roller coaster of a career.
Nobunari is coming in with the lead, an 8-point edge over Patrick Chan. He's got about a 4-point edge over Adam Rippon. He will skate to Piano Concerto number 1 and 2.
after Pirates of the Caribbean. It's been a very classical music night. Lots of speed. You can see the words behind him flying by. Quad toe, triple toe. If he lands it, it'll be the first time ever in competition for Nobu. Oh, no. Won't be able to get it out this time.
See his gorgeous lilting knees, allowing him to get the height and the speed, and then on the landing.
Very sophisticated circle step, to be sure.
Nobu has returned to the scene of some happy times back in Barrie, Ontario, to do some training with Canadian Lee Barkell.
He's also joined forces with choreographer Sebastian Britton, Canadian men's champion. Second triple axel coming up here.
You must have felt a little bit of a lean. Sometimes the skater fights it, and sometimes you give into it.
With a downgraded choreographed program in order to maximize the jumps, not as intricate footwork between the elements. This year, he's brought the level of his choreography up. It is still a little rough in places. It definitely needs to be refined as the season progresses. You cannot question, though, his wonderful speed and flow across the ice and just some gorgeous height, soft landings on a number of his jumps.
Yep, beautiful skater, absolutely beautiful, but what's missing is an exclamation point somewhere in this program to say, I want to be the champion. But so many other good qualities, but he didn't rip the roof off this place.
Nobunari Oda, Japan's rising sun of figure skating. He was fourth after the short program at the Olympics, fell to seventh. He led after the short program. Can he fall far enough for that man, Patrick Chen, to be the winner? Oda will need a big score in order to take this championship. that score would be 158-16.
And that's a bigger score than he was able to achieve at the Olympic Games. 153 was what he was getting late in the season. There's his coach, Lee Barcal, and he talked a lot while he was here at Skate Canada about his wanting to get back to a place where he felt happy about skating. And I think he got the Olympic business out of the way last year, and now this is about him and his new young family. But that was the most subdued I've seen him this week in Kingston. He was quite thoughtful in that program. You could see he was really concentrating, Kurt. He wasn't letting it go so much. 1, 2, 3, 4. Little tiny bit under-rotated. He didn't get the flow that he's used to, and there goes the chance for the triple, which he did throw in later, which was fantastic. Triple axel. Watch the pistons. Up and then down in the knee. Back up again and down. And he maintains momentum so well because of that ability. I'll bet his back doesn't hurt when he's 44 as much either. Bet you his knees do. Maybe.
Remember, it is a 158.16 in the free skate that he needs to surpass Chan, and he will not get it. 155.15 for Nobunari Oda. 236.52 puts him second. Patrick Chan is the champion of Skate Canada International for the second time in his career.
This completes the men's competition.
And now let's go downstairs to Brenda Irving.
Well, Patrick, you had some ground to make up in the leaders. How confident that you were going to get the job done today?
Going to bed last night, it was hard to get up and do the long the next day and think about having to do a whole long and try to fight back. And I've seen other people do it. I've never done it myself, so to do it is finally, it's a big relief. And now I know I have a strong program, and if I have both good programs, I think I could be up there at Worlds and maybe win a world medal.
Well, you have one more Grand Prix event to go. How much do you think you can grow your scores for that next Grand Prix event?
I think getting that short program out of the way, that first one out of the way, that disaster. So it's good to know that I have that under my belt. But then again, it's in Russia, it's overseas. I'm not the best traveler, and I have trouble with jet lag, and it's in Russia out of all places. So I've never been there before. So it's going to be a different experience and a lot more stress, I think.
Congratulations on a great performance today.
Thanks.
Now let's go back to Scott.
Thank you, Brenda. Patrick Chan, the winner, 239.52 total, a tremendous free skate, and he landed the quad. Nobunari Oda wins the silver medal for Japan. Adam Rippon, sublime for the United States, will take the bronze medal. Patrick Chan, the boy who would be king, is today. Skate Canada will continue. Poirier. The Russians at Skate Canada rule the pairs. But Kingston's main man is Patrick Chan of Toronto. Twice the World Championship silver medalist, Patrick Chan has got the quad. For the second time, this Canadian is the champion at home. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow from Skate Canada International.